A local mom has written a book about the funny side of parenting, what kids say, do, and how they react to life. What's different, though, here is Lisa Masters' two boys have autism, and the book is titled The Funny Side of Autism. Lisa is joining me today. We'll talk to her about her book in just a minute. But first, she invited me out to her home to show you here a little snippet of her daily life with 14-year-old Brandon and 11-year-old Andrew.
To people, it's almost like having a chronic toddler.
To understand how Lisa Masters' boys think, picture a very black and white world. As a little boy, for example, Brandon was fascinated by pregnant women.
He would just always want to run up to them and couldn't believe there was a baby in their belly.
Then one day in Walmart, Brandon saw a man with a big belly.
And he grabs the guy's belly and he goes, "Excuse me, sir, do you have a baby in there?" And I was like, "Oh no." And I guess, that very black and white, I just never made it clear it's only women.
His brother Andrew doesn't love school, but doesn't fully understand the concept of weekend either. So,
if you do a really good job this week, you get to stay home from school Saturday and Sunday.
Do we ask people we don't know to go in the car?
I know you.
You don't know him. You don't know him well.
And here's something else Brandon said on the subject of stranger danger.
He said, "Mom, can I talk to the workers in the store?" I said, "That's great. Yes, if you need help, that's exactly what you do." He said, "Oh, okay, I can talk to strangers if they're getting paid."
Whose house is this?
Dad's new house.
Dad's new house.
Her boys are very intelligent and in ways highly functioning. In other ways, they'll always need Lisa's help.
They'll run across the street without looking, or they'll talk to strangers. Getting what they need at school is a battle. Fighting with insurance is a battle. So every step of the way is a battle.
Throughout the battle, though, it's Brandon and Andrew who taught their mom a different way to think.
They have brought such a pure view of life that I never saw before. They don't have, a negative thought about anyone ever. They're happy. They're just great, sweet souls.
So between the euphoria and the stress of being a single mom and two boys with autism, again, Lisa's here, and she decided to do something. She did this, kind of a therapeutic way to process it all by writing this book. It is titled The Funny Side of Autism. And here it is. We'll get a close-up shot of the book right there. You have anecdotes, Lisa, from your life and from parents around the world. How did you get their stories?
Well, I had put it out on the web, just putting my funny stories out there, and it just kind of took off.
Yeah?
The response was overwhelming. People were just really dying to get the positive side of their children out there.
And you told me that you got hundreds to thousands of responses, but you also got just a couple that said, "Hey, wait a minute, I'm concerned about the title of the book, The Funny Side of Autism." What did those people say to you?
Yeah, I think the title kind of threw them, almost like I was kind of saying this is a joke.
Right.
And they got a little defensive, and they kind of came at me and attacked me for what I was doing. And then when I further explained the premise and that was a coping mechanism and so on and so forth, they kind of turned the corner and started apologizing to me afterwards.
Well, and they need to read the book too before they just start railing on the title of it.
Exactly.
I looked at some numbers today on autism. I've got a couple here I want to share, and I know you know these numbers as well. Right now, 1 in 110 American children has an autism spectrum disorder. Let's go back though. I looked at numbers in the 90s, and that number was 1 in 2,500. So I want to ask you this. We've obviously seen a dramatic increase in the prevalence of autism. In your opinion, have we seen a dramatic increase in the treatment of the disorder?
Yes. When we were first kind of thrown into the world of autism 12 years ago, it was really tough navigating through services and getting providers. Now it's a lot easier. There's a lot more awareness out there. The numbers are shocking, so unfortunately the shock factor draws more awareness and more need and money to the situation. So in that sense, yes, there's more available now than there has ever been.
Somehow you have the time to keep on writing, because I asked you yesterday, when is book number 2 coming out, and you said you're about halfway through it.
About halfway done.
So when do you think you'll finish it?
Hoping sometime next year.
And you also said it will be thicker than this one, because again,
yes.
you just continue to get more anecdotes from people all over the world.
It's gone total international at this point.
That is fantastic. Yeah. Well, of course, we want you to come back when book number 2 comes out. But in the meantime, folks, Lisa is doing a book signing tonight in Mesa, and we've got the information. When and where will you be?
I'll be at Cup of Karma tonight on Southern Avenue from 7 to 9.
And also, where's the book? Where can people find it?
They can go Barnes & Noble, barnesandnoble.com, Amazon, it's Nook, Kindle, anywhere really.
Okay. Well, I've got about half to go. I got through about half of it last night. You just gave it to me yesterday, but it is so interesting, just the insight that you and all the other parents are providing.
Thank you.
In terms of how these kids' brains are kind of routed, and how the synapses are working in their brain. It's fascinating.
It is. Thank you
and
so much.
It's funny too.
Good.
Along the way. Lisa, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Scott.
We do appreciate it.